You're listening to those two IM guys podcast. You'll find interviews, reviews, and interesting topics discussed inside with your hosts, Tony Earp and James Kennedy. So, what are you waiting for? Get inside!
And I'm here with my co-host Tony Earp. And today we're going to be speaking about something that's really close to my heart, and it's graphic design. How are you doing, Tony? Good morning.
I'm great, James. Good morning. You're a little bit tongue-tied today, are we?
I was, just a little bit, yeah.
Grab yourself a drink of water. You'll be okay. Good morning, guys, to our viewers and listeners. Thanks for joining us today. It's a pleasure to be here, as always. As James just said, today we're both very passionate about graphic design, and that's what we're going to discuss, and some of the tools that are available as options for you. Because, having the right tools for the job is super important, James, as we both know, yeah?
Without a doubt. Without the tools, we are nothing.
No, absolutely. And the tools we're going to discuss, you've got me at it now. The tools we're going to discuss today will cover, graphic design, illustrations, and web design tools that you can use for those purposes. We're not going to discuss video today because we're going to save that for a separate episode, James, aren't we?
Yeah, good plan.
It's a very specialised subject, yeah. Even though some of the tools that we're going to discuss, they may include some sort of, video templates and that sort of thing, yeah.
We can broach on them the next time we're around.
Yeah, totally. Well, like I said, we'll do a separate episode on video softwares. We'll save that for another day, yeah?
Awesome.
So, neither of us, James, are professional graphic designers, but we get by, don't we? And
we do.
Yeah, we get by because, one, we've sort of educated ourselves on the subject, and we're fortunate to know and be aware of tools that make the whole process a lot simpler and easier for us, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I've never professed to be an artist. I couldn't draw a smiley face on a piece of paper if you paid me. But with the right tools, one thing I will say I've got a vision for what I think something should look like.
Yeah.
And then I need to use the tools to find a way to create that. And if I can't, then I outsource it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and if in doubt, you've got to remember that whatever you're designing, people are going to be looking at this, and it's a reflection of your business, James.
Of course, that's 100%.
So it's going to be professionally done. And if you can't achieve that yourself, even with the tools that are, very user friendly these days and available out there at free or low cost for you to use, then yeah, as James said, outsource it. You can get that again on Fiverr and other places, Upwork and other freelancing sites. You can get these done relatively cheaply by the actual professionals, yeah?
For sure.
But don't be daunted. That's what I would say, because a lot of the tools we're going to mention during this episode, you already have a foundation to start your project, because they come with some amazing pre-made templates, James, don't they?
And again, some of the people that are actually the professionals out there are using the very same templates and things as well.
They certainly are, yeah. And we know people that use these exact same tools, offers professional graphic designers, and earn a very good living doing it, James, don't we?
Exactly, absolutely.
So a question I get asked all the time is, how much does graphic design software cost?
Tony, how much does graphic design software cost?
Well, that's a good question, James. I'm very pleased you asked that. The answer is, you can pay. We talked about lifetime deals in the last episode.
Yeah.
You can get some very, very good lifetime deals on places like AppSumo, etc., for graphic design software. And if you're not sure about the pros and cons of lifetime deals, guys, watch the previous episode, please. Yeah, we're not going to go into that again here. But there's some very good graphic tool, softwares that can be grabbed for low cost, one-time payment. On places like AppSumo, James, isn't there? That are super easy to use, yeah?
Yeah.
But you can also pay a considerable amount of money. If you're looking to go for something like, Adobe Photoshop or the Creative Cloud, don't get me wrong, that is a professional standard. But it's a cost for that, James. You'll be more aware of the cost than me now. I think it's $500 or $600 a year.
Yeah, something like that. And again, if you are making a living from it, then it's an absolute bargain.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm a cloud user, but incidentally, out of all that cloud that the Adobe Cloud, it's mostly just Photoshop I use. But again, there's other softwares that I use more frequently than the one.
Yeah,
that I pay
and
for.
there is a cost that comes to using Adobe Creative Cloud, which includes Photoshop, of course. But it is the Premier League, James, isn't it? It's the creme de la creme, however you want to phrase it. It's what all the top design professionals use in their businesses.
Sure.
But if you're going to invest in something like that, James, I think it's fair to say you've got to be committed to educating yourself in how to use it properly, because there's a massive learning curve.
Oh yeah, I mean it's an absolute mammoth. It's a beast of a thing.
Out of interest, how long have you been sort of educating yourself about Photoshop?
Over
Just to
15
give
years.
our viewers and listeners an indication of how committed you have to be. Yeah.
Over 15 years, and I still probably haven't scratched 20 or 30% of what's capable within the platform.
Yeah. So hopefully that highlights to all our viewers and listeners the commitment that's needed to invest. It's not just about investing your money, James. It's about investing your time in education.
Oh, yeah,
with something like Photoshop, isn't it?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I still use. I mean, I've never went into deep levels of using it. Obviously using different layers and things like that. Yeah, I do that. But
I think it's fair to say that there's a reason that that's the standard software that all graphic design professionals use. And that's because it is the best.
It's the best. There's no question about it. And what I like about it as well is it integrates with almost anything. I mean, it's the benchmark. If someone sends you a PSD file, we know that's an editable Photoshop file. But again, it can create PNGs, which is a transparent background, JPEGs, you name it, PDFs. It can do it. It's amazing.
Right. So I would say to our viewers and listeners, if you want to really educate yourself and invest your time and money in the absolute industry standard software for design professionals, then definitely go for Adobe Creative Cloud, because it's not just going to allow you to create amazing graphics for yourself, for your own projects. It gives you an opportunity to earn a really good living by offering those services to other people as well, James, isn't it?
And here's a nice little hack as well. If you're a person with a little bit of spare time in the evening, depending on where you are in the world, if you take yourself onto a night class, an evening class, a part-time course on learning Adobe or Photoshop, you can then apply for a student discount to Adobe, and you will get the price slashed by more than half, I believe. So that's something to think about as well. And they will honour that for maybe 2 or 3 years, because if your college course is 3 years, they can honour that for up to 3 years discount. That's a big chunk of change, and it gives you a boost. Obviously learning it, but that's if you want to go to the extreme level. Let's talk about some of the fun stuff. It's easy.
And that is a James golden nugget for today, guys. So, yeah. He's hit the ball out the park there, haven't you? Save yourself some money if you're really interested in getting Adobe Creative Cloud, which includes Photoshop. Yeah,
and again, and not just that, Tony, the fact that obviously it gives them a boost to their learning, because they're actually going and getting, because most cities, colleges in the Western world will offer a free or a very low cost. And again, especially here in the UK, you can even get it subsidised by the government. So you can take on a night course up to £200 in the UK, and the government will pay for it because you're trying to obviously educate yourself in something better, So
and to be fair, James, I wasn't aware of the Photoshop discount on that you just mentioned, but that's really great advice and a great top tip for viewers and listeners. But I was aware that there's quite a lot of top softwares out there that offer that educational discount. So make sure when you're searching for anything online, guys, certainly that's for educational purposes. Always check, as James just said, if there's an educational discount, and grab that whenever possible. I think it's fair to say, James, that if our viewers and listeners Googled graphic design cloud-based softwares or SaaS softwares online, they're going to be inundated, aren't they?
Oh yeah, there's millions.
You'll be overwhelmed, guys, and that's what this episode is partly for, is to try and just explain some of the key softwares that are out there that me and James use and we're aware of. We're aware that other people use successfully, and that there's not such a learning curve, James, is there? They're super user friendly, super easy to use. So you don't have to be daunted by creating your own graphics, guys, I promise you. And one of those tools, James, I think fair to say, is Canva.
Yeah, it's the one that I was thinking about just as you were speaking there.
Yeah, Canva is an amazing graphic design tools, guys. It is subscription based. I think they do have a free level, James.
They do have a free level, but
But
when
it's very limited, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, not very limited. It's a slightly limited. If you're looking to use templates and things like that are built into it, then that's when you find the real challenge, because you need to upgrade to Pro to get certain things.
Yeah.
You can download JPEGs, but they won't allow you to download PNGs. But there's always ways round about that.
Right. So I think potentially some of our viewers and listeners the free level may be appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And others may have to consider an upgrade depending on what they need to use Canva for, and the type of projects they're doing. But I think what we can both confirm is and agree on is it's an amazing piece of software.
Great platform.
Very cool platform to use for graphic design, no doubt about it. And again, guys, I know we're not talking specifically about video in this, but you can do some video work in there as well. And I think it's fair to say also that you're not just talking a few templates here, James.
Oh no, it's a monster.
Thousands upon thousands and thousands of templates. For social media, for web design, for illustrations.
Well,
whatever your design needs are, Canva pretty much covers all of it.
Well, I had a vision the other day ago. I was creating a logo for a cleaning company, and I was looking for a cartoon style bucket. Now, I've got lots of platforms that I use to buy graphics. I pay membership, digitaljuice.com, Creative Fabrica, etc., etc. I could not find what I was looking for. And my wife says, "Have you checked Canva?" And I just always forget about Canva. And she popped in, had a look, and she's like, "That's what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for." Yeah. And she sent it over, and lo and behold, the logo was complete and exactly how I envisioned it.
Yeah, and again, they've got some really good free training as well. They've got some great tutorials on how to use Canva, James. There's lots of great free training courses out there on the web as well that you can utilize.
Yeah, don't forget to check our trainings, our free training.
Yeah, as usual, James, I'll add everything to a post on our website, those two IM guys, in the recommended resources section regarding everything we're discussing in this episode today. Yeah, perfect. So no need to go rushing for a pen and paper, guys. I'll provide all that information for you, so it's super easy for you to find. Yeah. But yeah, Canva, can't say enough good things. It's a bit like a TARDIS, James. When you think you've worked it out and you think you know what's available, you'll spot something else, and then it takes you down a completely different design. Yeah, it's. I haven't got enough good things to say about Canva. It's just an awesome.
And
tool.
For the cost of it, I can't remember the Pro version. My wife actually pays for the Pro version.
Right.
I've just got the free version, so if I need to do something that's slightly out with, I'll just log out of mine and log into hers, and fix it there. But as I say, I don't know exactly how much it is. I'm not sure if it's annual or monthly. I think it's still month. I think she bought in when it was annually. I think it's now monthly.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where you can pay monthly, but if you pay annually, you save a bit of money.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But that's pretty much bog standard for most software platforms, isn't it? You know, if you pay annually, you save a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another comparable software to Canva, which again is excellent, is Crello, which is now called VistaCreate. They rebranded recently. Yeah, Crello, CRELLO, which is now VistaCreate. Again, another great comparable tool to Canva.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's pricing similar as well. You know, a free level, which is limited, then subscription model after that.
Okay.
And another one that we're both aware of, which was a one-time payment, guys, but it is no longer a one-time payment. It's now monthly or annually, is Usign.
Usign, great product, great platform. I think I want everything that Usign guys have brought out. Everything.
Yeah, and they have Usign as a platform, but they also have additional tools. They have like a full suite of tools, James.
Yeah, fabulous.
You can buy a subscription to as well. The
Z Suite, I think it's called.
Yeah, what they do, they specifically target a particular type of graphic. So it could be illustrations or something like that. And that part of the tool is has been specifically developed for that purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, because even mock-ups and things like that, Mockzine.
Oh yeah, and
all
again, you've
sorts.
got, you know, thousands and thousands of pre-made templates that give you the foundation to start with. You can start from scratch, of course, but why would you? Why make life more difficult for yourself?
Yeah,
You know,
there's not enough time in the
have
world,
that
guys.
Foundation straight away.
Yeah, I know a lot of our viewers and listeners will be money poor but time rich. Eventually, ultimately, you want to be time rich. You know, not that you necessarily want to be money poor, but you want to be able to kind of. And my vision for anything online is we learn things so that we can make money, and then when we're making enough money, we can then outsource those things to somebody else, so we can claim back our time again. You know.
Yeah, I think what we need to make clear, James, is that with all these graphic softwares we're discussing and mentioning, there's a learning curve with all of them, but some more than others.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You know, I mean, for me, the one that you would have to invest the most educational time in is without that Photoshop and Creative Cloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other ones we're mentioning, Canva, Crello, which is now Vista Create, Usign, they're a lot more user friendly. The learning curve's nowhere near as much, is it?
No, nowhere near.
So you can get started.
Drag and drop. It's brilliant.
Yeah, you can get started a lot quicker and produce much more professional designs a lot quicker. You know, and it's so much easier to use. Basically, is what we're trying to say, guys.
Absolutely.
So unless you've got aspirations to be an absolute top-notch professional graphic designer, if you have those aspirations, fantastic. Go with Photoshop. Go with Adobe.
Serve you well.
But
put your time in, and it shall serve you well.
You're going to have to put the time and investment into that. If you just want to produce quality graphics for yourself, for your own projects, for your clients' projects, then these other tools, Canva, Crello, Usign, are going to make it super easy and a lot quicker for you to do that. Yeah,
for sure.
Another one that was recently launched, James, I don't know whether you spotted it. I did purchase it myself. Click Designs.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, from a very good vendor. It's currently a one-time payment. I purchased it. Very, very impressed so far.
Nice.
Very impressed so far. In my opinion, you would need to buy the front end and the OTO1, which is the pro level, to get everything you need. But remember, that's a one-time payment, James.
Yeah.
I can tell you after that, they're going to subscription model,
which is good.
Yeah, and the vendor's got a really good history of supporting their products and the customers.
Yeah.
So I've no problem investing that personally. So yeah, that's maybe one that you want to go and check out right now, guys. Click Designs.
Mm-hmm.
If you Google Click Designs, there'll be a million reviews for it. But it is in launch mode at the moment. Mid-launch at the moment on JVZoo. Yeah. James is going to look at that straight now, aren't you?
Yeah, I just poked it in just to have a quick look. Oh, yeah. That looks pretty tidy. Yeah. And again, I'm seeing that they're obviously, if you look at any sales pages at the moment, guys, these kind of like abstract type people and things like that, they seem to be promoting that type of thing well within the platform.
Yeah, there's nothing that platform did. It doesn't matter what you want to design, James.
You could do it there.
That platform covers all the bases.
Excellent. I'll go have a look.
From logos to full web pages, James.
Right. Okay.
And the thing I like about it is that you can export the web pages and host them yourself.
Now, that's a valid point. See, sometimes that's a big challenge for a lot of people.
Massively so, yeah.
Yeah. And who is this vendor?
I mean, check that out yourself. Our viewers and listeners, go and check that out. As I say, it's currently on JVZoo in mid-launch. I'm not an affiliate for it. I've just purchased it myself. And logging in, looking into the dashboard, doing a few test doing a few test designs myself, I like what I see so far.
Yeah, it looks quite interesting. Right now, obviously, I've got more design softwares than I'll ever need. But I'm actually looking at the fact that it's got built-in box art. That's a valuable piece of kit then.
Yeah, I mean, it does everything, James. It even does sales funnels. You know, it does funnel graphics. If you're a vendor and you're doing launches,
I'm going to go and get an affiliate link for that, guys.
It does the funnel graphic. There's not much it doesn't do, to be fair. But from what I can see from logging in and testing it, on a few, on a few quick projects. It looks very versatile, and the output, more than anything, James, the output is really good quality.
Excellent, excellent.
As you know, sometimes when you design something in some of these other types of, one-time payment softwares, it looks great
Until you
in the
print it out.
builder, but when you export it, the quality, it seems to lose some quality.
It's a bit like when you buy something on Wish.
Yeah.
It looks amazing, and then
Yeah.
it turns up and it's like,
Yeah, but what I can tell you from the test designs I've done and from the exported, the quality is excellent. So that may be one that you want to go and check out, guys. That's currently a one-time lifetime payment. Yeah. And another one I want to mention, James, is one which is not discussed very often these days. CorelDRAW graphic suite.
wow, CorelDRAW. Now we're talking about a historic piece of software. Is that still on the go?
It's still on the go. They're still around. They're still updating. They're probably on version 1,064,000.
I can remember when it was CorelDRAW 7.
And as most long-term softwares.
I think you've got softwares in the head.
As most long-term software have done over the years, James, they've gone from one product to a completely new type of product, haven't they?
Right.
They've moved with the times, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. That's good. As I say, I've not seen CorelDRAW for. I think the last time I seen CorelDRAW was on the Commodore Amiga.
Yeah, well, it's not just CorelDRAW now; it's CorelDRAW Graphic Suite.
Ah.
So they've got a full suite of software tools, graphic design software tools now. A little bit like if you want to call it the poor cousin of Adobe, then fine. But
And
again,
what's the costs involved in that? Have you
the
looked
costs
into it?
it's a lot lower than Photoshop, James.
Right. Is
I
that a
don't know
monthly
what the costs
subscription
are.
as well?
I think that again, there's a free level, but I think that's just to get you into the software to start using it,
Lure you in.
lure you in. And again, it's going to be subscription monthly or annual after that, but it's a lot cheaper than Adobe Creative Cloud for sure. Another one you may be aware of, Inkscape.
Yes, heard of Inkscape, never used it.
Yeah. Again, another again from the research I've done. I've never used it myself, but from the research I've done, seems to be a very popular one. And looking in the discussion groups and stuff, people have good things to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one for you to check out, guys. Inkscape.
And have you got that free one that I recommended to you?
The one that you'll be aware of, and I'm aware of, and we've both used this probably in the past, is GIMP.
Amazing. Great little tool.
GIM for mother P. GIMP. Again, just Google GIMP, guys, and you'll
Be
free.
very careful when you Google GIMP, guys. Okay, just don't look at images, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hopefully you find the software version, yeah.
Bring out the GIMP.
But yeah,
Right, yeah.
The nice thing about this software is one, it's easy to use, and two, it's free, James.
Yes, and it's very similar to Photoshop. So if you would like to learn how to use tools, big tools from scratch, and you don't have the funds, you're not going to college, you're not doing all that stuff, then GIMP is very, very similar to Photoshop. Very useful, and ultimately it's learning at a ground level with a decent platform. So yeah, well worth using.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've used it on a few things myself in the past. Obviously, I've moved on to other SaaS-based softwares now myself. Yeah. So I've not used it recently, but I know it's one that's very popular. People use it regularly, and looking in the discussion groups, people have got nothing but good things to say about it, James.
Yeah, well, it's a winner, definitely.
Absolutely. And again, the fact that, CorelDRAW, now CorelDRAW Graphic Suite, Inkscape and GIMP have been around for so long. They've stood the test of time. There's a reason they're still around, James. They're still popular. People still use them. And obviously the fact that they're free is an absolute bonus, because what do we like, James?
Free! I love free. But incidentally, obviously, there is a donate button on there. And again, if you are genuinely getting some value from these products, it is in your best interest to donate some money to support the project going forward.
Yeah, I mean, that's the lifeblood of those softwares, James, isn't it? They live off donations. So if I've got a couple of dollars spare, guys, and you find a genuine, like James said, a genuine value in using the software, then drop them a few dollars, yeah.
Send them some love
via their donate buttons on their web pages.
Yeah.
Now I know you're a Mac user, James.
Absolutely.
You love Mac, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, I've got a
See,
PC.
I'm more
as well.
a PC guy.
I'm
but I
not
know you
racist.
love
I've got a PC as well.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm an iPhone guy. Love Apple. I've got nothing against the Mac. It's just everything I've done has always been PC based.
Yeah, I've got.
But I know you're a Mac guy, and one for Mac is Sketch.
Sketch. Never heard of it.
Right. And that's surprising because, again, from the research I've done, from the discussion groups about Sketch for Mac users, very popular. Everyone's loving that software, James.
Okay, now I'm going clicking now.
But I think the thing we're trying to get over during this episode, guys, is you don't have to be daunted by creating graphics for your own projects or clients' projects. A lot of these tools we're talking about today are super easy to use. You know, they've not got the learning curve of the industry graphic designer standard software like Photoshop. So you don't need to invest as much time in educating yourself about them, James, do you?
No, I'm looking at this Sketch right now and it's stunning.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go. You've got a non-Mac user just taught a Mac user something useful today.
Yeah, and again, cost effective, $9 per month or $99 annually.
Yeah.
Which is not a fortune. But again, obviously there is a cost there. But
there is a cost. But again, James, if you're a Mac user and you want a software that has been specifically developed for using on a Mac, there you go. That's certainly an option you need to go and check out and consider, guys. Yeah. And relatively low cost, as James just pointed out.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very, very cool, actually. The way you can, I've not seen anything as flexible. I'm watching a few little mini demos. And
while we're doing this episode, James, I want to tell somebody about, I want to tell everybody. I want to tell all our viewers and listeners, including you. You may be aware of this, but there's a very cool little Chrome extension. You know, when you're trying to find a particular color on a web page.
Yeah.
And it's annoying, and you can't find the X code for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This little Chrome extension will save you time and time over and over again, and save you that frustration, guys. It's a little Chrome extension called Colorzilla.
Right. I've got one.
And it allows you to very easily and quickly grab any color off a web page that you want to use.
Yeah. I've got one as well that I use called Eyedropper.
Yeah, I know there's other ones, James, out there. Yeah. And again, I use Colorzilla because I'm familiar with it. It's super easy to use. I use Chrome, so it's it does come in different versions, but I use the Chrome extension. Yeah. And most importantly, it's free.
Yeah, brilliant. As I say, I just had a play with Eyedropper there, and again, it gave me the whole thing, the color orange, red, the hex code, various other bits.
Generally, they allow you to copy to clipboard.
Brilliant.
And everything. So, guys, if you ever had that frustration of having to find the hex code for a color on a web page that you're designing, and you're looking at inspiration from other sites or something, that will solve your problem instantly.
Yeah.
Within 5 seconds, literally, you can grab the exact color code that you need.
And guys, if you're actually, and again, I'm big on branding. If you are actually helping brand a company, they need those hex codes, because anything that they then decide to replicate years down the line has to be identical. And those colors, if they are slightly off with their company branding, you've blown it. So you need to, if you're kind of dealing with people and you don't give them the hex codes for the whole project, they'll look at you as an amateur.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, a lot of our viewers and listeners may be doing site rebuilds, James.
Mm-hmm.
Redesigns, but the customer may want to keep the current color scheme.
Yeah.
So it's great for that, to make sure you get an exact match on the new design on the new website. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
So Colorzilla, guys, free, easy to install. Comes in. I think it pretty much has an extension for the for the different browsers.
Mm-hmm.
I use Chrome, but I think it's available for Firefox and Safari and etc. If not, there will be an alternative version that does exactly the same thing for those browsers.
That one I use is called Eyedropper.
Right. And what browser is that for, James?
That's on Chrome as well, right enough. I don't know if it's...
Yeah, I think it's fair to say the majority of these extensions, they cover all the different browsers.
Yeah.
They'll have a version for each browser. Now, I'm going to cost a lot of Fiverr designers a lot of money here, James.
Okay.
Because as you know, there's a lot of Fiverr designers offer gigs for designing banners for Google AdWords.
Yep.
Did you know that Google has its own web designer for banners for AdWords?
No, I didn't.
And believe it or not, it's called Google Web Designer.
There we go. And guess what? I bet it's free.
It's free. You've got all the pre-made templates, so you can get the exact sizes for your ad campaigns or your clients' ad campaigns. So instead of going to Fiverr and paying $20, $30 every time, because it's not a one-time payment, Fiverr, James, is it?
Never.
Every time. Add those $20, $30 up over a year, over 5 years. Trust me, guys, you'll be astounded by the amount, yeah?
Yeah. And the thing is, guys...
Sorry, James, you can go and use Google Web Designer for free. You're going to get the templates, the exact sizes, and they also have lots of pre-made templates, so you don't even have to start from scratch, James. It's a no-brainer, guys.
Yeah, and Google's not daft, guys. They're quite happy to give you this stuff for free because guess what? You're going to end up spending some money on ad spend once you've done it. So they're trying to make it easier for you to spend money with them. So
there's a more important thing as well, James, which we'll touch on, why they do that and why they really want you to use their tool to design your ads, because they're going to be compliant.
Yeah,
they're going to instantly pass compliance. Where, if you're not familiar with what compliance is required on your ads for Google or Facebook or anywhere else, you need to go and check that out, guys, because I tell you now, there's a lot of these Fiverr gigs don't take that into consideration. They'll just go with whatever design you want, and if you're not getting the compliance right, you could be paying for something that you're going to have to scrap and start all over again.
Yeah, true.
And it's going to cost you to do that.
Yeah, because there's only so much text you're allowed to use per centile and things like that. Yeah, it's a big thing. But yeah, and again, what you're doing there as well by using their tools, you're saving man hours for them as well, because the compliance team needs to get through things. Oh, it's not working. No, we need to then email this person. So yeah,
and again, if you've, like you say, if you've got a timeline for you to run your ads, you're running a special offer. Let's say it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, something like that, as an example. Yeah, you don't want your ads to not be instantly approved. Because you may miss that time.
Opportunity,
you
absolutely.
Miss the timeline,
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, Google Web Designer, guys, for your, if you're running any sort of advertising campaigns for yourself or clients using Google AdWords, go and check it out. It's free, and your ads are going to be exactly the right size. They're going to be compliant, and you're not going to have any issues when you submit them for approval. Yeah, because trust me, guys, Google won't care about your deadline. Yeah, they'll if they're not happy with something, they will let you know, and you're going to have to take more time to go and fix that issue. Yeah. So that's just a couple of bonus tools I wanted to throw in at the end there, James.
Well, Tony, that's been a good episode. That's for sure.
Sketch for Mac, Colorzilla, really cool Chrome extension. But I'm pretty sure they have versions for Firefox and Safari, and again, Google Web Designer, James. But the other main SaaS platforms that we've discussed during this episode, go and check those out, guys. Do your research, do your due diligence. Really think about how much time do I want to invest in educating myself to learn about how to design the types of graphics I want to for my projects and clients, because that's going to be a big determining factor, James, isn't it?
Yeah.
On which tool you choose.
Yeah. But the first one I would be grabbing for free would be Canva, because it's the simple one to get you up and running fast. If you want something, again, if you like the feel for Adobe, go and try GIMP, or even Paint.net is the one that you've not discussed. That's another great little free tool as well.
Yeah, Paint.net is, again, that's there with sort of GIMP and those free softwares, James. It's another very popular one, yeah.
So definitely some great tools discussed today, Tony. And I think, guys, I know this has been a fast episode. It's not been a long one, but we've told you everything that we need to tell you, and there's no point in just waffling on. So
yeah, with these softwares, James, it's more about creating an account, logging into them, use them, find what
feel for it.
Yeah, get a feel for it. Find out what works for you. Because not everybody's doing the same projects. Everyone's project's different.
Yeah.
Everyone's requirements are different. So you've got to test these things out, guys, to find the right platform for you. But I've always wanted to say this, James. I concur with what you were saying about Canva. If you want an overall quality graphic design tool at a low cost, you can't go far wrong with Canva, guys. It's a no-brainer.
My wife swears by Canva, and some of the graphic elements that she's put together. I mean, she just does it for her own projects.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm blown away thinking, God, that took me hours. Yeah, impressive.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that we've both we can't say enough good things about Canva, James.
Yeah, great tool, no doubt about it.
But there are other good ones, guys, that some of which we've mentioned during this episode.
Yeah.
So don't limit yourself. Try all these out. Find out which is the best fit for you from an educational perspective, from a user perspective, and from a price perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Tony, it's been a great episode. Thanks once again. Anything else you want to add before we go?
No, James. As always, it's been a pleasure being here today. Always happy to sort of try and drop a few golden nuggets to our viewers and listeners, aren't we? And as I say, we're going to do a separate episode, guys, just on video. So watch out for that episode. Yeah,
that'll be coming very, very soon. So, guys, thanks again. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We need your support. If you have any questions about anything that we spoke about today, please put it in the discussion. Put it in the comment within the video, below the video. We always comment back, either me or Tony. And again, don't forget to sign up to our newsletter on those2imguys.com, and that's where you're going to find the show notes from today's episodes and previous episodes as well. So thank you so much for watching and listening, and we will see you or speak to you very, very soon on another episode of Those Two IM Guys. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining Those Two IM Guys today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to tune in next time for more interesting subjects, hints and tips on running your internet marketing business.